All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, I am so excited about this awesome day today. This is My Health, Your Health with Kevin Vaughan and my wonderful guest today and family member, Dr. Makeba Moring. How are you doing, Doc? Good to see you
I'm
today.
doing wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Doc, before we get started, there's so much excitement, things going on the planet. I always give our guests opportunity to say a few opening words there, any things, words of encouragement, anything from your heart today to the people. So some people just need a word of encouragement, but anything you'd like to say to the audience before we get started here today? Thank you so much.
I want to say this. My father reminded me of one thing, and it's one of the
Yep.
most powerful scriptures in the Bible to me, and it's straight out of Corinthians. I
Yep.
think you can also find it in other books like Psalms and
Hmm.
Proverbs. But of the greatest of all things is love. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel the love I present to you in love,
Yep.
and what we're going to discuss was done in love.
Yep.
So I want to thank you for you, cousin, the professional himself, the radio connoisseur himself, the podcaster. I really appreciate that you brought me on today, and
Yes.
everything I share. I just want to give all honor and praises to God first,
Yep.
and I would like it to be received in love as it is
Yep.
given in love.
Amen. Thank you so much. You're right. That's the key that's holding everything together in the universe, folks, is love. So we thank God for the Creator. We thank God for Himself. We thank God for Jesus. We thank God for His precious Spirit that's with us today as well. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for joining us today, those live right now around the network here. Appreciate you so much. Hey, we want you guys to listen up first, though, and then share this out on your platforms. This is going to go out on YouTube later on to the family and, of course, our entire network as well. You guys will see this on LinkedIn, Twitter, or X, if you will. You'll see this on Alignable. You'll see this on Tumblr. You'll see this on all the other platforms. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But right now, you'll see this on at least 8 to 10 platforms, guys, coming from the MLT network. This is all part of the MLT network, guys. This is just one of our segments of My Health, Your Health with Kevin Vaughan. Hey, remember now, I am not a doctor, but Dr. Makeba is a doctor. Okay, she's qualified, so I'm not a doctor. So you guys need to listen to her, okay, on what she shared with you today. Hey guys, as we get started here, I want to read a little bit about her wonderful bio. Now, first of all, guys, I want you guys also the website is here too as well. The website's right there. We're going to be talking about this wonderful book. That's her email address for her website is up there. There it is. That's it right there. Her email, excuse me, her website is right there. So I want you guys to put that down and check that out as well later on. But we're going to be talking about her wonderful, beautiful book. Doc, that is an awesome book cover, and the book is awesome, and I love it. The colors are bursting. You're beautiful. I love it. That is so awesome.
Thank
That's amazing. But guys,
you.
real quickly, let me share with you a little bit about her bio because it's we could be here just talking about her bio for an hour or so. But Dr. Makeba Moring, ladies and gentlemen, PhD in the holistic health doctor. I love it. Vegan nutritionist and media personality, as she mentioned earlier, and one of the most premier experts on natural healing. You hear that, guys? Natural healing and holistic health in the world today. Matter of fact, I don't know if I have it here or not in my notes here, but I'm gonna tell you, God, in the beginning, when He created man and woman, He gave us everything we needed to eat. He told us what to eat. So remember that, guys. Sometimes you got to go back, Doc, to the beginning of time to see what you were really supposed to be doing. So thank you so much for your awesomeness in this area. Dr. Makeba, ladies and gentlemen, often known as Dr. Makeba, has more than 25 years of experience healing through holistic health, drug-free approach globally. Globally. Now, she's also traveled around the world, guys, so she knows what she's talking about. Lastly, guys, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Makeba has assisted many through providing individual programs tailored to suit one's personal and wellness needs. Also, too, guys, I'm gonna put a plug in for my wonderful cousins as well. If you have a podcast, television network, association, groups, all the above. You got a group of people that just need a speaker. You need to book Dr. Makeba as soon as possible, guys, for the years to come and this year as well. But plan to book her for some of your events where you need speakers to talk about this area of health and wellness. Just a powerful area. So we're just excited about that. So we'll be talking more about that in a little bit, Dr. Makeba. But Doc, if you would, tell us a little more about yourself, if you don't mind, just so people know that you are qualified, but also a little bit about your journey that took you up to this book today.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
So, where do I begin? My spirit is telling me to begin that first I'm a mother. I love being a mother.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a mother. And I also came from a wonderful mother and
Yes.
father, which
Yes.
really began my journey. I
Yes.
feel very special to have been chosen to come through them. And you'll see a dedication in my dedications. I
Yes.
mentioned that a little bit. So for me, I've always been aware, or I've had a realization at a very young age of why I was here and what my purpose is.
Yes.
And what greater thing is there than to fulfill your purpose and your legacy on the planet? But it's really not about you. It's not about me.
Mm-mm.
It's about us,
Yes. Yes.
because we are an ecosystem that have to live and breathe and thrive together. And
Yep.
I believe that every human wants to just be healthy and happy.
Yes, we do. Yes.
And we go about this life experience in different ways, trying to acquire that,
Right.
or what that actually means to our personage.
Yes.
So I've been blessed to at least comprehend on a micro level at a very young age that
Mhm.
my purpose was to assist us in feeling better and looking better and being better
Yeah.
by choosing wisely what we put into us and what we surround ourselves with. So
Mm.
that's honestly the
Yeah.
beginning, my
Yeah.
beginning. I can remember having these thoughts as young as 2 years old. And therefore, I always loved biology. And life continues, okay? I
Yeah.
always excelled in biology, but it was my wonderment. It was my
Right.
amazement at the beauty of Earth,
Yeah.
of how things live, grow, thrive, and recycle, because they
Yeah.
really don't die. Everything recycles.
Yeah.
So, how much more our human body? That was actually my honest beginning on
Yeah.
the path of becoming a holistic doctor, AKA a holistic healer. And so everyone would know I have a little age on me comparative to humanity. A little bit. And
Uh,
it's my strong knowing that
yeah.
we should be living at least 120 years.
Right.
I'm
Wow.
speaking of a very healthy mind and body.
Incredible.
Yet it is an art,
Yeah.
just like it's an art. And I went and got this plant for a reason. I
Yeah.
went and picked up this plant at
Yeah.
the last minute when we were getting ready to start.
Yeah.
Spirit said, Makeba, go and grab the plant. Now, as you see, I'm on a wonderful
Yeah.
virtual beach right now.
Yeah. I
But we're
love
going to
it.
throw this green plant in here.
Yeah.
So this plant is a beautiful thing
Yes.
because it gives us oxygen,
Yes.
and in return, it absorbs our carbon dioxide.
Yes.
It and it recycles it in this beautiful ecosystem of life. And just as it works on principles, it needs fresh air, it
Yes.
needs water, it
Yes.
needs sunlight. So do we. We're very similar to that. So that's it in simple layman terms. And it's a very honest revelation of
Mm-hmm.
how I began inside of Dr. Makeba's mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. Did I answer the question well?
Absolutely. You did a great job. Yeah, while you was talking, I was just pushing out the feed to everybody on the planet here as well. So that's wonderful. Doc, also too, I want to give you credit for you have raised some awesome sons, no doubt about it. Can you talk a little bit about your sons? Because they are amazing individuals.
Yeah, I'm always bragging about them. I wasn't going to say it,
Yeah,
but say
yeah, you
something.
got to do that. Yeah. Well, all of that is part, the family is part of my health and your health. So, when the family's healthy and good, I mean, I feel good. So say a little bit about your sons. We got to
Well,
tell.
Kevin, if I go to bragging about my sons, it'd be all day.
I
But
know it.
to put it in brief, I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
I've conceived three children. I've
Yes,
conceived
ma'am.
three children out of my
Yeah,
womb,
yeah,
and three sons.
yeah.
I was like, oh well, on the last one, I guess my body won't be making a girl in this lifetime. So I conceived three wonderful sons. They're all 2.5 years apart.
Yeah,
I'm very proud of all of them as they have excelled in many ways. And
yeah,
the most important way
yeah.
is that they're very good people, meaning that they're very conscious of
Right.
servitude to humanity
Yeah.
according to the gifts and talents that they've been given.
Yes.
And to always serve your brother. We don't live on an isolated island. We have to interact with each other. That's what it is. Energy wise, biology wise, whichever way you go, that is the ultimate of spirituality, to
Yes.
be able to take accountability for your existence to the point that you're taking accountability that the better person you become,
Yeah.
and whatever that means to you according to your gifts and talents, that you may be able to share that in love to someone else. So I feel like that's the ultimate love, and I'm
Yeah.
very proud of my sons for that. But beyond that, I was vegan with all of my sons. I had been vegan for a while. So I like to say that my children are organic vegans.
Yeah, I love it.
Because the definition of an organic fruit or vegetable means it's actually been planted in soil that
Yeah.
hadn't had chemicals in it.
Yeah.
And wow, you know,
I love
according
it.
to the state you're in. So I
Wow.
like to call them organic vegans, and they have
Yeah.
pretty much maintained the lifestyle. All
Yeah.
of my children were born out of the country, and they've done very well.
Yeah.
I have my first grandbaby. She's doing excellent. She
Yeah.
weighed exactly almost 9 pounds, the same
Wow.
weight that my son weighed, and she was
Wow.
vegan as well, and her mother was vegan while
Whew.
carrying her. My
Beautiful.
middle and my youngest son are both MMA champions, guys. They're
Yeah.
and they're also both in corporate America. My
Wow.
youngest son is a genius of genius, I say. He
Yeah.
was even in West Point, and we all know the
Yeah.
vetting process, or maybe you don't know, but West Point, as well as other military academies like Annapolis, have a very strict and
Yeah.
rigid vetting policy
Yeah.
because it represents leadership for our country to stay ahead.
Yeah.
With that being said, Shlomo did go through that process and
Mhm.
succeed. And
Mhm.
although he resigned for West Point, it was a fabulous experience, and it was a testament to how healthy he was. So with
Right.
him, I
Right.
point him out especially
Whew.
because by the time I got to conceiving my last child, I was actually a raw foodist.
Right.
So
Right.
I had took the level of a plant-based diet and veganism to another level. And
Yeah.
this is what I could teach you, not just because of the PhDs I
Right.
hold,
Right.
not just because of the certifications in herbology and in midwifery I hold, but the
Right.
actual practical life experience in
Yeah.
creating an evolved human.
I love
And my position in taking accountability with my vessel that I've been given. And so by that time I was having him, I began to experience some ill effects of stress, which you will experience in this world. And because I already had a relatively high eating pattern, I had to raise the vibration of how what I consumed in me because
Yeah.
I was already here. So
Yeah.
that's how it goes, right? Food, all foods have a vibration.
Mm.
So when you cook a food, even if it's a plant food, you're killing a lot of the life force. So
Wow.
I decided to take on a live food eating pattern and
Yeah.
only put living fruits, vegetables, and grains in my body.
Yeah.
And to this
Wow.
day, I saw it make a huge difference in the
Wow.
product, which is my
Yeah.
child. So I discussed that a little bit in the
Yeah.
book as
Yeah.
well. And I give a few remedies and recipes about that. So,
Absolutely.
as I said, I could brag about my sons
Yeah,
all
exactly. I
I'm,
love it, Doc.
I'm very proud, but
Yes.
certainly it takes a village to raise children. So
Mm.
I'm also very proud of my personal family,
Yeah.
my global family. I
Yeah.
had a lot of assistance and a lot of great men like yourself, cousin Kevin, that could be an example because of your accountability to humanity for them to shoot for
Wow.
something positive and something high. So
Oh,
thank
that's
you.
powerful. Oh, thank you so much, Doc. You are inspiration, no doubt. Hey, that's why I brought up the family, guys, because we're featuring the book today, guys. It's Remedies and Recipes by Dr. Makeba, ladies and gentlemen, vegan. We are excited about that. And she talked about the book, and she dedicated a portion of the book to her family. So I said, we got to talk about the family for sure as well. But that's wonderful. Well, let's get started, guys, on this book because, guys, we're here to educate. Doc, we don't want to give them too much, right? Because we want them to get the book, of course. So I love it. So I have just a few questions for you. One thing, Doc, I wanted to talk to you about is could you at least educate us about the difference between vegan, because I need to also understand it too, difference between vegan and vegetarian, because a lot of people are switching over to that, but people get it mixed up, I think, sometime. I said, which one are you? Well, they're doing both. I don't know if you're supposed to be doing both or what, it's up to them. But what's the difference between vegan and vegetarian, please, if you don't mind?
Okay. Okay. Thank you for asking that
Yes,
because
ma'am.
I come from a particular generation and
Yeah.
this is my 40th year anniversary of being
Woo,
and
woo.
I very
Wow.
much overstand
Wow.
that
Wow.
terminology changes with time, and that's okay. I
Yeah.
stick with the term vegan. Been doing it a very long time now, relative to how my age and
Yes.
just relative to people, period. Okay. So I
Mhm.
know a little bit about something. I know that often the term plant based is used, but to
Right.
me, they intercollide with each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with using the term vegan, the difference between vegan and vegetarian is one thing. They both represent vegetables.
Gotcha.
Okay. They both represent a plant-based eating pattern. I
Gotcha.
don't like to say diet because
Right.
diet really means something
Yeah.
that's killing you. You're taking in nutrition,
Yeah.
and the words have a lot of power. They're energy.
Yes, they
Okay.
are. Yeah.
So I say this is your eating pattern or your nutritional pattern. Vegetarian can take on so many definitions. You
Yeah.
can have lacto-ovo vegetarian, you can have a lacto vegetarian. So it's really different. Vegan means that you strictly and you only consume plant-based products. Now, what does that mean? That means fruits, vegetables, grains. That means you do not take in anything that is from the animal. You do not eat meat, which would include eggs. Okay.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
it does not. Now I know they have a lot of new age people who may argue with me,
Mm.
but many of them also are not vegan and haven't done it for a lifestyle and certainly haven't produced children like this.
Yeah.
It does not include, from my definition,
Mm-hmm.
honey. And let me explain this
Oh,
to you
really?
guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what bees do? Without bees on the planet, we pretty much would die very quickly because bees and insects pollinate almost every fruit and vegetable on the planet.
Yes.
So it's not legitimate. It is not a part of their body. I've been waiting a long time to make this distinction.
Yeah.
Now, if you choose not to consume honey, but yes, honey is allowed in a vegan practice, and I don't go back and forth with it
Right. Right.
because the point is that you are partaking of something. And a lot of people also ask me, well, how did you get on this?
Yeah.
I got on this for health reasons to prove that we could live
Mm-hmm.
well past a century
Yes.
if we follow what is biologically adaptable for our human bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, animals and everything else will benefit. But my priority in teaching this is for us.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the difference. Now, vegetarian, a lacto-ovo vegetarian would be someone who consumes mostly plant-based things, but
Okay.
also consumes animal milk,
Okay.
be it goat milk, cow milk,
Right.
and also consumes eggs.
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
it's just a lacto vegetarian, it's someone who just consumes animal milks. Now,
Yeah.
this is the very common practice amongst Hindus in India.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So usually an Indian restaurant is something you can go to and
Yeah.
just leave the milk out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A vegan is someone who strictly consumes a plant-based eating pattern.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is the difference between vegan and vegetarian. Vegan is absolutely nothing from the animal, but that's why I had to explain bees,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
bees pollinate everything that's not from the bee, that's them pollinating something,
Wow.
as they do almost all fruits and vegetables and
Mhm.
greenery that we know of. Okay.
Yes.
But a vegetarian is someone who's mostly plant-based, but more than likely they're consuming milk and sometimes egg. Now they have some new vegetarians. I can't speak of those. So I'm
Right.
speaking
Right.
of more of the original definitions. Okay.
Yes, exactly. I love it. I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Dr. Makeba here. We're talking about My Health, Your Health. Today on the network, we're featuring her new book, guys. It's on Amazon, guys. It's time. I got my copy here. I can't wait for her to sign it later, but we got my copy here, ladies and gentlemen. It's remedies and recipes. And guys, our goal is to get better in our area of health. Matter of fact, Doc, we're going to be talking about our kitchen. Now, we're going to talk what's in our kitchen, right? We're going to talk about that too today as well. So Doc's going to help us clean our kitchen out maybe a little bit today as well. But Doc, can you talk a little bit about herbs? Not again, don't give too much away, but a little bit about herbs today, how important they are as well in our wonderful life.
Okay, definitely, definitely. Herbs are food. My
Mm,
motto is
wow, herbs are food.
yes, your food should be your medicine and your medicine your food. I have to look up who said that. I don't know if it was Franklin or Hippocrates, but seriously,
Yeah,
if you go with that
wow,
concept, you'll be a lot healthier for
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
So herbs are food. And the reason I like to speak of herbs, and yes, I'm a master herbalist, but a
Yeah.
lot of times it's many things that you're already familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Be it
Mm-hmm.
turmeric, be it
Yeah.
ginger, be
Right.
it cayenne pepper,
Right.
okay, be it celery seeds, be it
Yes.
cinnamon, be
Yes.
it nutmeg. We've heard of those. Be it pure vanilla, you know, that stuff that we
Yeah.
put in pies during the
Yeah.
holidays, not the imitation vanilla, but the
Right.
pure vanilla from the vanilla bean that's an
Right.
actual extract.
Mm.
Many times those things have nature is perfect.
Yes.
So when we were born, this planet is equipped with everything to detoxify, heal us, prevent dis-ease. It's equipped with all of that.
Mm.
All right. So usually when it speaks of the herbs, that's what it is. And I think I even mentioned in my book, Genesis 1 and 29, because you mentioned in your introduction that we
Yeah.
may need to go back to the beginning.
Right.
That's absolutely my concept.
Yeah.
Is that if you go back to the beginning, to the
Yeah.
original diet in Genesis 1 and 29, it
Yeah.
speaks of eating only fruits and vegetables in the
Yeah.
herb of the
Yeah. I love
field.
it.
So
Exactly.
in my book, because I'm not going to give away too much,
That's right. Want you to get it.
the one thing that I've become very passionate about is how can I help my culture, my generation as
Yeah.
an American more than anything?
Yeah.
We're the leading country, but how is it? Oh, I thought I had this off. Sorry about that.
That's
How
all right.
is it that we're one of the fattest, sickest nations on the planet?
Right.
Something's not coming together. It's certainly not a lack of education. It's certainly not a lack of accessibility, but it's obviously a lack of comprehension in being able
Right.
to
Right.
incorporate it in your daily lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely,
So
Doc.
the purpose of this book was to make it as simple as possible so you can have a basic guide of how to do it from the kitchen you're in. So I'm going to give you one of the things that's in the book. I say a lot of times it's just replacing.
Yeah.
Table salt is very toxic. It's no reason to consume table salt. You can consume sea salt, Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, because it has the natural amount of
Yeah.
minerals that you need. Your body needs minerals. Mostly, if you taste your blood, you'll notice that it has a salty taste, right? That's
Yeah.
most minerals that you're tasting.
Right.
So anytime you consume something that's out of its natural form and it has too much chemical makeup, it's more than likely going to cause some type of imbalance, which of course is going to lead to organ dysfunction, aka disease. So that's the premise of the book, and it's only one of many. To
Yeah.
be able to give a simple, practical guide with you using things that you may be already familiar with. Cinnamon. How many people that know that cinnamon is quite useful if you have blood sugar?
Wow.
Quite useful.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
give you a remedy relative to that. How
Yeah.
many of you know that cayenne pepper is a serious antibiotic and antiviral,
Wow.
particularly when you mix it with a simple fruit? You can find that in the book.
Exactly. I
Okay.
love it.
So
I
an
love it.
ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
Yeah.
And you may already have your answer right in your cabinet, and if
Right.
not, the grocery store down the street.
Amen, Doc. I love it. Hey, you know, it's all about application, guys. We got to understand that's what Doc is here for today. This is my health, your health, and with Dr. Makeba. And our goal is to get the information that we need. Now, Doc, as you know, we've been socially modified over the years for different reasons. You know, we talk about, you know, right now, commercials that are on right now are not talking about none of this. Every commercial that people are watching right now talks about everything else but what you just said about 3 or 4 herbs, if you will. So we know we've been socially modified. Even when we hear the right information, we don't believe it because we've been socially modified to take on the sugars, the salts, and all the processed foods. I can't not believe, Doc, they got some type of system that they, or some type of meat that's not even meat. They call it meat, but it ain't meat. I said, man, this is ridiculous. How can anybody consume something that's not even meat, but they call it meat? So you know the system has manipulated us all over the globe for different reasons, mainly for profit purposes as well. But it's so sad because they're actually killing and hurting people's health, as you know, as well. So again, I'm
Mhm.
not a doctor, but I can see, I ain't got to be a doctor to see that this is not good for my body, especially when my body's saying, no, I don't think you need that today. Let's get rid of it. You know, that's amazing, just amazing. Hey guys, we are highlighting Dr. Makeba's book, guys, today. It's called Remedies and Recipes by Dr. Moring. She is a great doctor, guys. She's qualified, and we we want you guys to share this out. We want you guys to also invite Doc to your program. I don't care if it's live or virtual. You need to invite Doc to your platforms, guys, to share this information. It's all about knowledge, the right knowledge, what you need to do today. You know, Doc, I wanted to ask you while we're talking about that area, can you talk a little bit about that we really, well, let's talk about salt and sugar, because I think those are the two areas that are hitting us, if you don't mind, without giving them too much away. But do we need that salt and do we need sugar?
You know, I want to address something. I never mind giving information. And you know why? Because much has been given to me. And
Yeah.
honestly, as a professional, it's the one thing since I returned to the United States
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah.
decades ago, I've been criticized about. I've been criticized, you give away too much information. And I get it. I knew it was going to work eventually,
Right.
okay? Because
Right.
time proves things, all right? I got
Yep.
three super sons,
That's
and I
right.
really have more than that because I have bonus children that I'm also very proud
Yeah.
of. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna shout one of them out there. Their
Yeah.
older brother Amios, who I raised.
Yeah.
They started on the MMA track from him
Wow.
because he was an MMA champion in Israel and came over here, and he's in his mid 30s and he's still cut like I don't know what. So it
Exactly.
works. It
Exactly.
literally works.
Yep.
So I never mind giving information, but the truth of it is we live in a capitalistic society.
Yeah.
Okay. My only issue with capitalism is
Mm-hmm.
the concept that excludes God.
Right.
And when you do that, it shows me that you really don't comprehend life.
Right.
Because all of life works on a principle, guys.
Yep.
And so you don't want to find this the wrong way, because you can have all the money in the world and then
Yep.
you're out of here because you involved yourself in activity that caused you to be violently taken out before 30. How much sense does that make? Or
Well,
causes you that once your kids finally grow up and you're my age, that
yeah.
you're on so many drugs and you've so many diseases that it's also affects your mental and you
Right.
can't be happy.
Right.
So I believe that our society has evolved in saying we have power over this. We need to do it different because obviously our mental and our spiritual and our physical health is the most important health, is wealth. And we can attain the other wealth afterwards, but to do it backwards. And that's one of the biggest issues in a capitalistic society, to gain money at all costs.
Right. Right.
Okay. So with that, yes, it's a preponderance of information out there that's very confusing because we're in a society where companies have been allowed to do very disparaging things that are ill for our health. But rather than blame them, because they're just people that you actually support in one way,
right,
put accountability back on self. Because I tell people, well, they didn't make you buy it. When you picked up the package, you got a whole master's degree.
Yep.
You make $250,000 a year, and you mean to tell me you didn't take enough accountability for your own existence to read the back of the package?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So instead of putting blame, that's what's happening. We have entered into a new age. I believe we're in the age of Aquarius. And I'm so proud of us because instead of blaming out there, we're taking accountability. Okay. So we're saying, and I say, if you can't read it, you probably shouldn't eat it. I'm going to say it again. If you can't read it, you probably shouldn't eat it. It doesn't mean that you can't phonetically enunciate or pronounce the words.
Right.
What it means is you have no clue
what it is,
where that ingredient was derived from.
Yeah.
And the relationship it's going to have on your mind and your body. And you're just trusting it.
Right. Right.
And you live in a capitalistic society.
Yeah.
You know that's probably not the wisest thing when it comes to your health.
Right. Wow.
So I can see us as a culture now demanding better products. I've been vegan for 40 years. It's stuff on the market. I mean, I can find so much now. It's amazing. This is a new thing, guys. Trust me. I've been vegan long enough to know that the options weren't there, but that's because the demand is more.
Yeah, exactly.
What I still urge you to do is to read. And if you want to say safe,
there you
it's
go.
always fresh, raw fruits, vegetables, and grains that you prepare yourself. The less ingredients, the better.
Amen. I love
That's my position on that.
Oh,
And I'm
I love
sticking
it.
with that position.
Yes, no, absolutely. I want you to stay strong in that area because you're helping our family out over here as well today. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is My Health, Your Health with Dr. Makeba. We're talking about this wonderful book, guys, today, Remedies and Recipes today. We want you guys to go to Amazon and order like tons of books, and not only for yourself, but also for your family, right? You can actually literally give these away as gifts, folks. So I want you to do that as well. Order those books online. Hey, guys, I want to also, while Dr. Makeba was talking, you got to read those labels, guys. When you're buying stuff, read the labels. She just mentioned that. Read the label. Understand what is going into your temple. I know Doc calls it her body the temple. We call this a temple, guys. You got to know what's going on. And matter of fact, it's no excuse today because if you don't know what's on the label, you can look it up and say, well, I don't think I need to eat that today, that type of thing. So there's no excuse for learning. The second thing, guys, you got to know what you're buying, right? You got to know what you're buying today. There's just so many things that are introducing, Doc, to our system, trying to save a buck, but our health is going to go crazy. And then, of course, the pharmaceutical is going to try to find a remedy, and then they want us to take the pharmaceuticals. That's unacceptable, guys. That is unacceptable. I think a lot of people are saying, wait a minute, I need to take more charge of your health, my health. And there's the book right there that's going to help you do that. So,
Can I
Doc,
say something, Kevin?
yeah,
Can I say
absolutely.
something?
Yeah.
Because I was inspired to, when you asked me to open up and introduce myself, that can always be an awkward moment when you're on any podcast, radio, or
Yeah.
TV, anything where there's a video. That can
Right.
always be awkward. Yet I can only go with Ian because what comes from the heart literally goes
Yeah.
to.
Right.
And with that being said, I opened up with speaking on love
Right.
because I know that most people love themselves
That's right.
or they want to love themselves.
Yes.
The
Yes.
problem we're having in modern day society is that we've forgotten how to love them
That's
ourselves.
correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but
Yep.
wait, catch this. It's real simple. We don't
Okay.
have to overcomplicate this thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
because when you eat things that have all these ingredients on them, you
Yeah.
see on the commercial will protect itself and say, and this music will get nice and smooth and calm. And in rare cases, fatality occurs. Well, do you know fatality means that he killed the
Right.
person?
Right.
But you choose to
Right.
ignore
They
that.
tell you that's right. They do tell you on some of them. You're right.
You choose to allow this
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
control.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
This thing will get you in trouble.
Yep.
And people say, well, I crave this and I crave this. Well,
Yeah.
alcoholics crave alcohol.
Yeah.
Drug addicts crave drug, and
Yeah.
sugar addicts crave sugar. That's
Hmm.
what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
You asked
Exactly.
me about salt and sugar. So when I say love, humanity is going back to, I want to love myself. And
Yeah.
the best way to
Yeah. Doc.
begin to love yourself
Yeah.
is not out here, not out here, not over there. It's in
Right.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you begin to love this vessel by taking accountability for it,
Hmm.
God gave you that. It's even
Hmm.
a scripture that says, ignorance of the law is no excuse. You
Right.
chose. And so that's what I meant when I said love. And I want to say one more thing because my father said something to me that I thought was so profound. And I
Yeah.
love to use this on interviews. I
Yes.
love to use
Yes.
it.
Yes.
And yesterday was Father's Day. So, or a couple days ago, rather. Was it
Mhm.
yesterday? Yeah. So it's a
Sunday.
very emotional transitional time for
Yeah.
me
Right.
as a serious daddy's girl. And
Yeah.
tomorrow, Juneteenth, which is a known African American
Right.
um, celebration because
Yep.
it's when most of the slaves are freed. He actually decided to ascend on Juneteenth. That was my dad. He's gonna do it in style. I'm gonna leave. So he's. I want to present this that he said to me. He
Yeah.
said, "Think about it."
Right.
He said, people, and I saw my father work with youth all over the world, quite literally, and give them self confidence through sports and father them
Yeah.
because that was his mission that God gave him, and he did it massively successful. So
Yeah.
he said, think about it. He said, people spend all this money, particularly
Mhm.
Americans or Westerners in particular, and everyone else is trying to be like us.
Right.
And we're a great country, but we got some faults that they're not aware of that
Right.
they probably need to hang on to. I tell my Asian brothers and sisters, you better hang on to them principles. That's why y'all living past 100. I tell my
Yeah.
Caribbean brothers and sisters, be careful adopting all of our lifestyle
Yeah.
habits. That
Yeah.
might not serve you well.
Right.
Okay. But he used to tell me people spend a tremendous amount of money on what they put on the outside of them.
Right. Right.
That
Right.
beautiful suit.
Yep.
Women love those shoes, that
Yep.
fancy perfume. And
Yep.
I'm not even gonna fib. I love clothes. I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
exceptional as a woman in that.
There you
I
go.
like stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You look good.
But then go out and buy food.
Right. In the
And
temple.
because it's inexpensive,
In the temple.
care if a canned food is 50 cents. No
Right.
human should be eating that crap.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Powerful.
It's been canned in aluminum, which is associated with Alzheimer's, cancer. It's been sitting there forever. It's completely devitalized and dead.
Whew.
And then will not pay. And this was back in the day when it cost more for fruits and vegetables. And I hear people, my clients all the time, well, it's expensive to be vegan. I said, it's a lot more expensive to die. It's a lot more expensive to have
right.
bypass heart surgery
Right.
that you could have avoided. It's a
Right.
lot more expensive to have cancer.
Right.
It's a lot more expensive to not just your pocket, but to your mind, your body, and your legacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So pay up front.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. He said, and then they will put crap into their body and justify it.
Right.
And I wanted to always repeat that. It's very true.
Absolutely.
It's very true. So when I speak of love, this book was written in love for the high demand of Americans, and particularly Americans, but people all around the world are reading it already.
Right. Right.
But we've forgotten, and we're such a great people.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've forgotten how to properly love ourselves.
Yes, yes.
Whatever you go for out there, you don't put the best in here first.
Right,
I tell women all the time, they're like, Dr. Makeba, you're almost 60. Yep, your skin. It's what I put in me. So I need less to put on me because I take priority in what I put in me.
Yes, ma'am. I love it, Doc. That's beautiful. That is so beautiful, guys. Hey, guys, this is so important today because you are important. My Health, Your Health with Dr. Makeba. We're featuring the book today, guys, Remedies and Recipes. But guys, I want to understand, you got to understand that you, every man and woman and child and child on the planet is important to God. You got to understand that, first of all. Second of all, guys, you are the most important thing in the universe, okay? Because guys, you matter. This is why we're talking about this, guys. You matter. So guess what? You must take care of yourself. Dr. Makeba, one of my goals is to stay out of the hospital. I don't need to be in the hospital for nothing, okay? Maybe a follow-up or something like that, but that's about it. So your goal, not to be getting old, that's going to happen. Well, forget all that. We're going to age, okay? Forget that. That's age. We do that. But I'm not going to have to be in the hospital when I'm 99 or 100. So the point is, guys, we don't have to be there, but we're going to have to change our ways of thinking and then take some action in these areas. That's why Dr. Makeba is here today. Doc, matter of fact, we're going to transition over to the kitchen. We got to talk a practical area. I want you to go into people's kitchens today and talk about maybe 2 or 3 things we need to get rid of in our kitchens today that we cook with or eat. So we can start this journey through this book. So we need to get the book and then change some things. But I know one thing we got to do is get rid of some stuff in our kitchens. Can you talk a little bit about what we need to consider getting rid of in our kitchens today in order
That's actually very true. As a holistic doctor who has been a holistic doctor and working actively as one for more than 2 decades, almost 3 decades, a lot of it is teaching people what not to do.
Right, right.
And I've actually go in kitchens and say, oh, crap, 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 don't get this. When I say crap, it means it's toxic for your body. No, I don't even want it sitting there. I don't want even that low vibrational gadget.
Get it out.
You said the 2 most important things from the beginning, which were actually salt and sugar. So I already gave you the salt remedy. It's no reason to have table salt, okay? It is chemically altered. The body can't handle chemically altered things very well without it having some sort of toxic residue, okay? So anything chemically altered should never be done long term.
Right.
Meaning as a lifestyle, and there's no reason to do it. If you're going to consume salt, it's much healthier to get, guess what, guys? Salt is from the sea. A real sea salt or Himalayan salt is very high in minerals. They also have a product on the market of which I've always, liquid aminos. A lot of people like the Bragg brand. I can't at this point endorse any particular brand, but I can tell you that the real liquid aminos is just the extract of amino acids from the soybean. And so it's naturally high in sodium, but it's natural sodium. But even better than that, guess what's excellent, guys? Grinded celery. Celery has a very high amount of natural sodium, but it has the correct balance of other minerals in it, like potassium, so your body can process it. When it comes to the human body, it's not about what it is. It's about your body's ability to be able to absorb it with as least toxic residue as possible. So now we're going to go to the next thing, sugar. Woo, that's Americans' issue.
Woo.
Sugar, let me tell you, sugar is what's taking us out. If there had to be one thing that was identified and associated with every single major illness that we suffer as Americans, it is sugar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now we have to explain what is sugar, because all sugars are not equal.
Right.
Sugar is taking us out. That is the quickest way to die early.
Yeah.
Okay, be it from Alzheimer's, cancer, diabetes, or even heart disease or autoimmune thing that you think you just adapted. No, your body became so weak that it began to fight against itself. So now you've developed what's called an autoimmune condition.
Yeah.
Okay. And yes, people say, well, so much on the planet right now. Are those things true? Yes, chemtrails and all that stuff is true. But our bodies are equipped. We evolve with the environment. So it's always a matter of putting pure things into our body. So let me tell you what sugar is. Sugar, white sugar, any processed sugar in your kitchen should go. Now, it says, well, which ones do you agree with? It's absolutely no reason to be eating a chemically processed white sugar. It's straight poison. It's I can't even believe in this day and time that people have gotten as far, because this kind of information coming into Americans about 50, 60 years ago. I can't even believe people still consume that crap.
Right. And Doc,
At least,
Doc, not to cut you off, but isn't there some countries that won't even allow certain things that
they won't even, that's how toxic it is.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Now, particularly with farming varieties, if you're going to do sugar, it should be raw cane sugar from a sugar cane. That's it. Or agave is a great treat. I do recommend honeys. Now, the problem I'm having with honeys is I just saw a recent study that a lot of honeys aren't what they say. So try to make sure you're getting them from a local farmer where you know it's actually pure. But any type of extracted sugar is an issue, but particularly if it's in the chemical bleach form as white sugar. Now, let me tell you, it's all about how your body absorbs something.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the other thing is fruit sugars. If you're eating a piece of fruit, I have healed many diabetics. I have testimonies in the back of my book. Those are actual testimonies from actual clients. Okay.
Yeah.
On fruit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you have to understand biology.
Right.
If I eat an organic apple, it is going to absorb in my body alkaline, not acidic as a tablespoon of sugar, even raw sugar would, because it has the natural balance of all these other chemicals, photochemicals, minerals, and vitamins that it takes for my organic flesh to absorb and assimilate and use fuel.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Love it.
So fruits are very, very good for you. You should try to get a lot of your water from fresh fruits and vegetables. So all sugars aren't equal, but at the least, you got to throw away the table salt and the white sugar. I stopped giving my children, I'm going to tell you, sugar younger. And I wasn't even eating white sugar. I wasn't even raised on that, thanks to my mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I've been doing this my whole life because when I went to school, American kids, guys, are rough. Even the educated ones. I had to defend myself with the brown bread my mom gave me because everyone was eating bleached white colonial bread. And it really pushed me to learning more history. I learned the history of grains. I learned that through someone trying to bully me, which is never going to go well with Dr. Makeba. So I learned to educate myself as the comeback. Now I protected me and I've done you a favor. I've enlightened you.
Exactly.
I learned that when we were first becoming a country, one of the things that made North America so attractive is it had abundance of topsoil. True story. And therefore you could grow a lot of fruits and vegetables, opposed to Britain, which is very difficult for them to grow anything to this day. So one of the biggest things was trade of sugarcane, certain grains, so forth and so on. One problem occurred. By the time it took that long journey, 5,000 to 6,000 miles away, the bugs would eat it. So if the bugs eat it, that means it's real food. So if something's sitting on a shelf and a bug will eat it and it won't decompose,
Right.
Trust me, it's bad for you. That's
Yeah.
a good sign.
That's a
So
good.
they had to come up a way where they could transport this food on ships
Right.
without it being completely eaten
Right.
by nature.
Right.
So hence processing was born.
Right. Yep. Yep.
So we're going to de-germinate the wheat.
Ooh,
We're
Jesus.
going to take the essence out of the sugar
Right.
so it could get to here to there so they can eat it. It was never a healthy
Right.
process, but it
Right.
was a necessary process for that time. No
Right.
one should be eating that in this day and time. So
Wow.
that's the biggest thing. Now I'm gonna give you one more story with sugar because we got most people are sugar addicts.
Yeah, buddy.
And if they go on a real fruit and vegetable regime,
Yeah,
no
doc.
processed food. I don't care if it says it's plant-based. No
Mhm.
processed food. You're going to begin to have cravings. That's that sugar. Sugar's worse than crack cocaine, guys. And sugar, anything that turns to sugar in your body,
Mm.
that means the simple carbohydrates. That means the breads, the candies, the all this other stuff that you're eating.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a
Mm.
complex, healthy whole grain. It
Right.
turns into sugar, and
Right.
it's worse than crack cocaine. And it's the number one cause of mostly all of the top 5 associated degenerative diseases in
Yeah.
America.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
could tell you how to break it. But
Yeah.
organic fruits and vegetables are not a part of it because they
Right.
acclimatize in your body different. So
Right.
when my children were younger, and I noticed that when I would buy them a so-called treat, and we didn't eat sodas,
Right.
already doing raw cane sugar, black sugars, that they would eat it so quickly.
Yeah.
It would
Right.
just be gone in a day. I got 3
Right.
sons.
Right. Right.
Let me tell you, the food expense is real.
Absolutely.
I love them enough to
Yeah.
invest in them, their mind and their body.
Yeah.
That always was the priority.
Right.
And so I said, well, why am I giving them this?
Right.
And I said, and I began to switch what I gave them. I began
Yeah.
to make less pies and cakes. And my stuff was already done out of whole grains and this, but it still had an
Yeah.
addictive effect.
Right.
And I began to buy more nuts.
Right.
I used to make this treat. I'm gonna give you a quick remedy out of medjool dates, which are
Mm.
delicious,
Woo.
guys. I would
Wow.
pick the seeds and
Right.
I get a nut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
could get a pecan. Pecans are really good.
Yeah.
Also, I prefer pecans, almonds, or cashews.
Right.
And I'd
Oh,
get cashews. You can soak the cashews and peel them.
right.
My children were big eaters, so I didn't soak them with them. And
Right.
I would simply take the seed out of the medjool date,
Okay.
replace it with a fresh almond,
Oh,
and
really?
wrap it up, and I would put them in the freezer, and I would let this be their treat. And I
Wow.
even wouldn't do too much of that.
Yeah.
So this is what Dr. Makeba's remedies and recipes. So those are the 2 biggest things is the
Yeah.
salt and sugars. But I wanted to make a distinction
Yeah.
because people
That's
say, well,
great.
I can't do fruit. That hasn't been my experience as a holistic doctor.
Oh,
You
I
can't.
love it. That's
Mhm.
wonderful, Doc. Hey, guys, this is My Health, Your Health with Kevin Vaughan and Dr. Makeba. I'm glad you are with us today, guys, on the network. I want you guys to share this out. Hey, the book, we're talking about remedies, recipes, guys. We want you to get that book. We want you to share that book out. We want you to have a conversation with the book when you get it and read it and make some changes in your house. You know, Doc, I wanted to transition over. I want to encourage everybody to go to a farmer's market, Doc. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. I'm real big on supporting community farmers market.
Yes, ma'am.
Not just because we should support our community, which is a big deal, but
Yeah,
also because you're going to get the fresher fruit and vegetables
yeah,
that was
yeah,
recently picked, and it's
yeah,
always healthier if that's the case. It
yeah.
hasn't been sitting there, it hasn't been transported around the country, it
Right.
hasn't been oversprayed is my main reason why I like supporting them.
Yeah.
Because more than likely at the farmers market, the food has not been sprayed
Right.
so
Right.
much so it can be
Yeah.
preserved. And
Yeah.
here it is, 2 months later, you're eating a beet.
Right.
Whereas I'm a big
Right.
component of beets to get your blood
Yeah.
to get your iron up. They're
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful. But
Yeah.
if you can get that fresh beet that
Yeah.
just came from the farmer's market because they just picked it up
Right. Yeah.
yesterday, they
Yeah.
just pulled it out of the ground, it's much healthier for you. So I'm a big supporter of
Absolutely.
eating your local produce when possible.
Absolutely. Hey, and take your children there, guys, okay? Especially before they go back to school, but definitely take your children to a farmer's market, guys, and train them and teach them from the book. You need to train them from the book, guys, all right, on what you should be getting so they can understand what they need to have for their wonderful bodies. And we can, matter of fact, Doc, we got to have you come back and talk about the children because, you know, that affects their health and learning as well. So we got to have another program just for the children on why children not doing well because they're not eating well. And you can't pay attention if your stomach's growling because you have some deficiencies in some areas, So we're going to talk about that another time as well. But guys, I want you to go to Amazon and look for this wonderful book. All you got to do is type in Dr. Makeba, and that book will come up, Recipes and Remedies on Amazon. Hey, Doc, we talked about the kitchen makeover a little bit there as well. I want to ask you a few questions because these are some areas I need to work on. Is it air fryer? Because I'm getting away from fried foods, right? So is the air fryer good for us?
I love air fryers.
Good. That's all I need to know.
When I started using air fryers, I said, I can't believe they have kept this wonderful technology from
I
us.
love it.
I'm
That's
a
good.
big supporter of air fryers.
Good.
Honestly, I've never bought a microwave.
I
Never.
love it. Yeah. Yeah.
And I know many people that would justify it and say it's okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to my brother who had this discussion with
Right.
me, always arguing about stuff.
Right.
I don't support microwaves.
Right.
I don't trust it.
I
I'm gonna leave it at that. Air fryers are definitely a great option.
Good.
Healthy. Hey, any of you air fryer companies out there want to sponsor me? We'll be going all over the world. I will support your brand. I love air fryers. So yes, I condone air fryers.
Amen. Yeah, exactly. Since we're not getting paid, we ain't gonna mention any one of them right now.
That's right.
We get paid, but y'all do your research on those air fryers, okay? Because there's a lot of them coming behind some of the major ones, and but do your research and make sure you understand what you're getting. Hey, Doc, also too, let's talk about olive oil. Ooh, man, I'm starting to use olive oil. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because it's like you go down the aisle, man. There's like 50,000 versions of it. So what do you say about olive oil, if you don't mind? Just a little bit of hint.
Well, I love olive oil. So this is a subject that I absolutely love because I can prove this. As someone who lived in Israel, and all due respect to anyone out there who calls it Palestine, lived in Israel for 2 decades, I'm a huge component of olive oil.
I love it.
There is a wonderful gentleman out there that I was with for a few years, and he's, God bless him. He's in St. Louis right now. And by the way, my St. Louis community is very, very supportive. So shout out to my St. Louis community. Yet I was putting extra virgin, cold pressed extra virgin olive oil on whole wheat toast for years, and he didn't know it until he saw me one day and was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What kind of sneaky thing are you doing?" My kids would tell everyone, "Be careful. No telling what she put in there to make you healthy. You'll be going to the bathroom and you won't know why." I am definitely a holistic doctor, and I love giving life. I helped you, okay? I helped you.
Exactly.
And so he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "This is extra." I said, "You didn't know. You didn't know the taste." So a lot of things. He said, "I thought that was margarine. Margarine is not healthy, okay?" And I can't support any brand because of the way it's chemically altered. It's proven to have long-term negative effects. Okay.
Right.
Unlike butter, which is actually a healthier option, but healthier than that, because I don't believe in things from the animal, is definitely cold pressed. When you deal with your oils, guys, they should be cold pressed, meaning they used minimum heat to extract it. Meaning it's maintaining most of its nutritional integrity. Okay. Extra virgin also meaning it's just the pressed olive. Olive oil is the healthiest. Okay. And I have seen, if you've lived in the northeastern part of Africa or the Middle East, you could literally see the skin and tell the difference. It's extremely healthy, essential fatty acid oil that actually fights cholesterol.
Wow.
It actually lowers cholesterol, improves brain health, heart health, and gut health. So I'm a huge component of extra virgin olive oil. Not to mention, if you actually get real extra virgin cold pressed olive oil in its raw nature. Okay. You can also use it for products that you put externally on your skin. And that's the true test of a product. Anything you put on you, you should be able to put in you and it not have a toxic effect. Okay?
I love it.
So I'm a huge component. It has a delicious taste. You really cannot tell the difference. I think it is the best substitute. I don't agree with margarine for any butter. And the only caveat I have about it is that we do live in America. It is a capitalistic society. If we haven't learned anything, we've learned that companies can get away with literal murder because of the profit, over conscientious behavior that's healthy for humanity and the planet. Okay. So since we already know that, while we're working to turn these things around politically or whatever way, through prayer politically. We have to take accountability. So I say, always check your source of where the olive oil comes from. Because I lived in that part of the world, I know what real extra virgin olive oil looks like.
Right,
It's
right.
going to be a little thicker.
Yeah,
It's going to have that greenish tint, almost like your background right now.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
Right,
absolutely delicious. So
yeah,
I'm a huge component on that.
right, right.
Even with my grandbaby, when we give her her little quinoa, she's
Yeah,
almost 3 and she has gorgeous skin. And
yeah.
a little extra virgin olive oil on there.
I love it.
She was born vegan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I
So
love
you
it.
said we wanted to talk about children. Guys, all of you parents out there, if you look towards the back of the book, there's a dedicated section to her, to a power smoothie that you can make for your children that I dedicated because we give it to our grandbaby. And she's very, very healthy
Yeah.
and way above the curve for her age.
Oh, I love it. Hey guys, we're here with Dr. Makeba on My Health, Your Health with Kevin Vaughan today. There's the book, guys. I want you to go to Amazon today and order your copies and share those out to your wonderful family members and coworkers and business partners and all the above. Remedies and Recipes by Dr. Makeba. Powerful area. Hey, our goal here, really, guys, is to get you to take better care of you. That's the
Yeah.
whole purpose of this, guys. Your goal is to stay out of the hospital. Yes, maybe see your doctor once a year, right? Once a year for checkup, maybe. That's about it. We want you healthy. We've seen people in their 90s, as you know, Dr. McCabe. We've seen men in their 90s and hundreds are looking and saying, what? Are you 100 years old? Looking like they're in their 80s and 70s? So you know they're doing something like what Doc teaches in the book, guys. So we want you guys to stay healthy. And I think most of us know that we want to be healthy. Most of us do that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be sick, right? We don't want to have kidneys removed. We don't want to have your liver issues. Nobody really wants dialysis. Nobody really wants to do that. So guys, please take better care of yourself because you matter. You matter. Come on now, you matter. You're the best thing in the world, guys, and you got to take care of yourself, guys. But guess what? Nobody can force you to do that, right? You got to make the decision. It's all really about the mindset change too, Doc, as you know, as well. So we encourage you guys to get the book, learn more about this. You can call Doc later on as well about more details or information that you may need. I think we all need a kitchen makeover with the things that we use to cook. So please consider doing that this year, guys. Do not wait. Start throwing stuff out that you don't need, folks, and make that happen for yourself. I love it. Well, Doc, I tell you, we love your time today. I want to give you some final thoughts there. You take your time. Any final thoughts you have for us, and also some takeaways, but also to give us an action item too. Anything you want us to do today in our kitchens.
My final thought is closing as I begun. The most important thing you can do to inherit wealth, happiness, and leave a legacy is to take care of self.
Yeah.
Now that's where the waters have gotten murky in our pursuit for money and other materialistic things. What is it worth if you've gained the whole world and you've lost you?
Yep.
So this book is dedicated to loving us and to sharing this type of wisdom that is nothing new. Holistic health and healing is the oldest form of healing and medicine, practice medicine on the planet. Allopathic medicine is something new, and it's nothing wrong with it. The issue is the complete dependency on somebody else or a drug for your health when that was always your accountability. So that's the takeaway. The other takeaway is to actually buy the book and contact. Okay. This is going to be a big takeaway. If you buy the book, contact me. You can contact me on that email, or you can either go straight to Amazon or you can go to my website, drmakeba.com, and contact me. I'll find a way to personally autograph your book. Okay. We're also setting up right now book signing events around the country. Okay. So I want you to stay tuned to the website, stay tuned to the Facebook page. And I liberally give information. Okay. And that's because the more you give, one, yes, it is because I love us and I also love me. The more you give, the more you receive. And it's not a lack of information. It's a lack of being able to discern the information in the proper way that we could live these healthy, wonderful lives so we can express our highest being and give the most to our families, to the planet, or whatever it is you're doing. That's where it comes in at. So this book attempts to assist us in seeking clarity on how to go about that.
Oh, I love it, Doc. Thank you so much. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're on My Health, Your Health with Kevin Vaughan, Dr. Makeba, my awesome, awesome family member here. We're just excited about her being with us today. So brilliant, smart, and beautiful. Guys, she's also on Facebook, Dr. Makeba. She's also on Instagram and Spotify, guys. So I want you guys, I want at least 1,000 people to start following her, guys, on the network. Again, you guys got a podcast, digital network, anything, media, guys, you need to contact Dr. Makeba and have her on your program, okay? Because we want half the planet, I'm sorry, we want all the planet to be healthier. How about that as well? And we even talk about vitamins as well. We got to talk about vitamins next time, Doc, with you as well, because we know people are deficient in some areas. We got to talk about that in the future for our people as well. So, guys, we are so excited about Doc being with us today. Doc, you know you're always welcome to come back and talk about some areas. You talked about your events coming up. Let us know when those come up. I don't care if you're on for 5 seconds. Just let us know where you're at so we can push
Okay.
it out on the planet as well. We'll be glad to promote that for you as well on top of that. Hey, guys, the book is Remedies and Recipes by Dr. Makeba. We want you to share that out. Matter of fact, Doc, I wanted to mention, too, our young adults. You need to get the book. And
Yeah.
if you got to buy the book for the young adults, buy the book so they can have it for their starting their lives, right? Some of them are starting their new careers, new businesses. Some of them getting married soon, maybe, right, to start a family. Guess what? They need to have this, guys, in order to have a better success in their health, in my opinion. So, and also, too, those who are going back to the schools in the fall, you need to get the books now. If you're graduating, already graduated from high school and get ready to go to college, you need the book as well. Take this book with you, guys. You need, and say, Mom and Dad, I need some vegan stuff so I can have it in my refrigerator or whatever you got to do. But we want you healthy as well, ladies and gentlemen, so you can concentrate on your studies and use your wonderful brain to its full capacity as well. It's important that you know what you put in your body. Doc, this has been incredible. I hope y'all are taking some notes. Appreciate your time today. Looking forward to have you back on the network. Any final words there before we let you go? You good?
My final words are thank you.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you for
Oh, yes.
inviting me.
Absolutely.
The book sales are already doing great. So thank you, fam. Thank you for
Yeah.
the international fam. I want to give a special thanks to my Israel fam. I get a lot of support.
Yeah.
The Dr. Makeba Show podcast took a long hiatus and
Yeah.
our numbers are still going up. So thank you for listening and paying attention because
Yep.
you're shaping what the next project's going to be in Dr. Makeba's Vegan Holistic Remedies and Recipes by Demand. So I just want to thank you. And I want to say to everyone, give yourself a hug. We love
Yeah.
us.
That's
We love
right.
us. This experience on earth is so short. Let's
Yeah.
make the best of it by loving ourselves. And when you love yourself,
Yeah.
everything else is loved. So
Amen.
thank you.
Oh,
God
yeah.
bless.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Hey, remember, guys, you matter. This is why we do it, guys. You matter. You are the best thing on the planet. And guess what? Each one of us require and need what we're talking about today, guys. So we want your health to be optimum. We want your health to be the best it can be, ladies and gentlemen, each and every day. Hey, guys, so again, the book, The Remedies and Recipes by Dr. Makeba. I want you guys to get the book, share it out. Again, all my colleagues out there that have a media platform around the globe, you need to do that. I got some friends down in Australia. You're going to get this too. So you guys share this out down in Australia, over in Africa, of course, as well, over in Asia, those listening right now through YouTube as well. You guys get that book, but also have Dr. Makeba virtually, or if you got a budget, fly her over to your location to do a live event as well. Okay.
I will come.
That's right. And keep in mind, guys, it ain't free now. You got to take care of her, okay? When you invite her to speak, you make sure you have that budget in place for her as well, okay? Take good care of her. But guys, if you need to get in touch with Doc too as well, you can contact me on the network here. I'll be glad to share that information. But there is some information there, email address and phone number. And of course, she's on that beautiful website, Doc. Oh man, I don't know who did that, but thank him for that. It's a beautiful website. Oh, just incredible. So drmakeba.com, guys, on the network. Hey, we got to go. Hey, as my mentor would say, Dr. Makeba, always remember to out-love, out-serve, and out-forgive each other. And remember, your health matters. Take care. This has been Kevin Vaughan and Dr. Makeba on My Health, Your Health with Kevin Vaughan. God bless you, Doc. Thank you so much for your time. Give love to the family. Oh, yeah, family. We love you out there. All the family members listening. God bless you. Share this out on your platforms, guys. And we'll see you next time on the network. Bye-bye.